Hello and welcome back to another tutorial. Okay, in this video we're going to talk about the Slurpit plugin in NetBox. After installing and attaching the Slurpit plugin into your NetBox application, this tab over here would appear. So now that we have this tab, we know that the Slurpit plugin is actually attached and installed successfully. Now there are some configurations needed for us to be able to exchange information back and forth between Slurpit and NetBox. So to configure extra configurations of Slurpit, I'm going to click on this settings and we go to this page. Here in this basically section, you are provided with three synchronization methods. The first one is push. We have also pull and both. Here we have a description. Says push is about sending data from Slurpit to NetBox. So data will be pushed from Slurpit to NetBox. Here, the Slurpit application would push the data over to NetBox. Pull is the opposite. Data can be pulled from Slurpit using NetBox. So here, the NetBox app would pull the data from Slurpit here. And both means pull and push at the same time. Pull and push functionality are available at the same time. We send the data from a Slurpit, we pull the data at the same time from Slurpit. So let's try the first method, push. I'm going to select it, save it, and I need an API token. I'm going to generate this API token, add a token, create, copy, and I'm going to go back to Slurpit. So as you can see here, I'm going to hit show. And as you can see, the API token is added to this section. This section is now filled with our newly generated API token. Now, the only thing for me left to do is to go to Slurpit, go to settings, plugin, and I'm going to put in the plugin URL, which is going to be the URL of your NetBox. You can grab it from here. This is the URL of my NetBox. Make sure to include the port as well if it's not using the default 80 or 443 HTTP and HTTPS ports. API key is going to be what we just generated in our NetBox. I'm going to hit show. This one ends with 34. Copy this one more time. Go here. Now, the authorization types, we have several types. Since we're using NetBox, I'm going to choose NetBox. And status is going to be enabled. There are some additional synchronization settings like syncing devices, data tabs, IPAM, etc., etc. Now, I can either save it or it tells me that make sure the connection is tested. So I can also test my API, and we know that the status code is 200 and we get a response, a successful response back. So we are now sure that we have reachability to this plugin or the endpoint. I'm going to save this and it is successful. And go back here. And that was the push method. So this is done. This is completed. Now we have the pull method, which is a little bit different. I'm going to save this. And so I've already filled this in, but normally these are empty. You have to fill in the Slurpit server information. That is going to be the IP address of your Slurpit, which is here, 254.81 is a port. And this is going to be the API key that you generate from Slurpit. So I'm going to go to Slurpit, go to Administrator, API keys, and this is the one that I just generated. I can also add a new one here. I'm going to call this NetBox maybe test. And I'm going to give access to everything. And I'm going to submit, copy this, go back here, go to edit. I can replace it with my new API token or API key. Save this, and it says connected. So I can also test it one more time. Tested the connection to the Slurpit server successfully. So we know that we also have connectivity from NetBox to Slurpit. And in the end, we have the both method, save it, and you're provided with this section as well as the first section that we saw, which needed a plugin API generated from NetBox. So we have both. We can also save this as well. And we are also provided with some API calls, some endpoints and CRUD operations that we can perform. So that wraps up this video. I will see you in the next one.